So in this part I will show you how to make this zipper, and also I will show you how to attach waistband. Here I have space for button and buttonhole. So normally you need a buttonhole here to close it. And to start I need a zipper, and let's imagine that these are details of my skirt, two back details like this. And as I told you, normally on the back we have space for our zipper, and if you have a pattern normally they mark where the beginning of the zipper, but if you don't have any mark then you can measure it yourself. So for example, this is my two back details of my skirt, and I have seam allowance here 1 centimeter. This is top where I have waistband, and in the middle with this kind of zipper I advise you to make seam allowance a bit bigger, 1.5. So before you start cutting out details you need to think what kind of zipper you want to make, okay? And how to understand how long will be the opening for your zipper. So this will be the highest point of the zipper where you have the tape, and you need to make sure that this place, I'm gonna take a pen, wait, yes I have this. So this will be the highest point, and on your skirt, this one where you have the stitch, the end of seam allowance will be the highest point. So they have to be like on the same line. And now I look where the end of my zipper, so you have to like stop a little bit higher than this place, because I cannot go further. This is the lowest place of my zipper, so there's no like super precise rule, but a bit higher, like 1 centimeter higher than the end of your zipper. So this will be an opening for my zipper. It means that I have to connect here with straight stitch my two details. This is back of my skirt, right? But first what we have to do, we have to finish this with zigzag. So here I go with zigzag, and here I go with zigzag. So I went with zigzag separately, 2 layers, and then I connected till my mark with straight stitch, and of course you need back stitch. What I do next, I want to attach interfacing, again 1.5 centimeter wide, or it can be 1 centimeter wide, to this area where I have my my zipper, so to prevent my fabric from stretching. So from the very beginning till my mark, and 1 centimeter longer. So I need 2 pieces like that, and I attach them to both sides. Again, the side that has dots goes to the fabric, and I attach it I make sure that this line between seam allowance and my detail, it has to be covered with interfacing. One side and another one. If you don't see your line, you can draw a line again, so it's more visible. I have seam allowance 1.5 centimeter for this zipper. Okay, this is my line, and here I have seam allowance 1 centimeter. Okay, next what I do, I have to connect this part, this line, these two details with with hand stitch. Some people go with sewing machine, but with the longest stitch that you have, or like 4-5 millimeters long, because you can remove it later. We need to remove this later, but for now I have to connect this. But I don't do it with the sewing machine, because if you have very like the fabric like silk or something like that, you will have like the dots from the stitch, which you don't want to have. So I always go with hand stitch. So this is my thread, and I don't have any lock at the back, so at the end, so I just 2-3 times go with the stitch at the same place, and then this is how I lock the end, and then I go forward and I make sure I'm on the same line on both sides, right? And I connect with hand stitch my two details. Okay. Again, at the end, I just go 2-3 times at the same spot with the stitch, and I cut the thread. Now what I do, I press everything from the top, and now I press my seam allowance flat like this. Okay, then I take my zipper. This is my zipper. So this is the highest point of my zipper. This I will cut, I don't need it. So the top of the tab will be the highest point, and I have to match it with my stitch line. I mean with my line of seam allowance. So if I continue this line, it will be here. So I make sure that they're matching. So I have here hand stitch, so I can go through this. And what I have to do, I have to pin my zipper. I have to first of all place it in the middle, so the tooth and the connection of two layers for two back details are matching. So it has to be middle, and I pin my zipper to my fabric. And another side too. Okay. So what do I have to do now? I have to now go with hand stitch again and attach my zipper to my fabric. Okay, I went with hand stitch. This is how it looks from the front. It's important to attach really good here, because it's extra volume here. We have to make sure that two layers, the right and left side, they are connected here, and the stitch will not open. And I removed the pins, as you can see, and now what I have to do, I have to open this hand stitch that I have in the middle between these two. Not this that you can see on the front, but the one on the middle. I have to open this. Okay. and you can open the zipper itself. So we open till the hand stitch that we have, sorry, till the beginning of the normal stitch. So I think it's here. Okay, so here I have a beginning of the sewing machine stitch, and next I go to the sewing machine and I will need another foot, the standard one. I will show you now. So I'm here next to my sewing machine, and if you're gonna open this part, okay, I don't have it here, but every sewing machine has another foot, standard one. I will show you now, wait a second. Yes, it's here. So it looks like this. It's a standard foot that every sewing machine has. So we need to change this one to this. How to do this? I will try to show you. At the back you have like a button here. So I press it and it just falls down. And now I take another foot, and it has like, you can attach it to this side or to this side, and normally I attach it to the left one. So how does it work? I move this part to here, so I have here like a special place to attach, and I press this button again and I move it up and it's attached. So if I press it again, it's gonna fall, and now I move it up and I press and it's attached. Okay, so it's not hard. So with this foot it helps you to go closer to the tooth of your zipper. Just want to explain to you. So this is my another zipper. So I have to go close to the tooth, and with this foot, because I don't have anything here on this side, you see I have like a space here, I can go closer. You see my needle can be really close to the tooth, so that's why we use it. Okay, now I take my detail that I prepared, and what I do, I open my zipper, and you can actually make a line, draw a line with chalk where you go, but you need to go with distance like 5 millimeters from the edge, and attach your zipper to the fabric. I think I will also draw a line, so my line is straight and really nice. So I prepared the line. I have 5 centimeters from the fold on here and here, and here I have also around 5 millimeters from the end of my hand stitch. And the other thing, that on this side we have the end is like a plastic thing, and we have to go a bit higher or lower than this plastic thing, because if your needle goes from this, your needle will broke. Sometimes this part is also metal, so in both cases just try to avoid this place, go a bit higher or lower. So I go with this line higher than the end of my zipper. So I use thread of another color so you can see how it works, and let's start. So I go forward and back stitch then, as always. Okay. Okay, when you get close to the end, it will be hard here to go through with needle because you have this thing. So what you have to do, you have to lift your foot, but only when your needle is inside. So when your needle is up, it's a bad idea to lift your foot. So needle is inside, my foot goes up, and now I close my zipper. Yes, and now my foot goes down, and I continue. Okay, so now I have to turn again. My needle is inside in my fabric. Only in this case my foot goes up, I turn, and down, and I go straight. Okay, again, the needle is in, I turn, and I go forward. Again, I get closer to this part, so I have to open my zipper again. My needle is up, it has to be inside. I lift my foot, I open the zipper, everything goes down, and I continue. Okay, I'm done with back stitch, and I cut the thread and I remove the hand stitch. So this is my zipper. I attached it, and it's done basically, because you can open it and you can close it and everything is good. This is how it looks from this side. The only thing, my line is not that straight because I have a camera and it's a bit difficult to make straight lines, but it has to be more or less straight.